Nate here, and today I'm going to show you how to get the exotic Pulse Rifle Outbreak Perfected. Now, a bit of a heads up, I did capture a portion of this during the season of Dawning, so you will see some Dawning bounties in case you are not familiar with what they are. Now, the good news is I ran this exact same quest a few times in the last few weeks, and it's exactly the same as when I began to capture all of this. Now, the way I'm going to show you, you don't have to wait for the heroic adventure on Titan. First thing you're going to do is you're going to land right here where I'm at, and you're going to follow my exact path. I will let you know that you do have to clear out everything on Titan in order for this to work. You gotta clear out every single story mission, you gotta clear out every adventure, and you have to clear out lost sectors. It doesn't matter unless it's tied to a story. Now, if you have any exotic quests, that's fine. It's not gonna stop you from doing this. So, again, I'm going to show you how to begin your Outbreak Perfected quest without using the heroic method, though you do need to have cleared everything on Titan. If it's a story mission, if it's a DLC story mission, all of that stuff, make sure you clear it out and make sure your map looks, it's empty. Now, follow the path that I'm taking, and you're going to run into all these enemies. You don't have to kill them if you don't want to. If they are getting in your way, then by all means go ahead. Now, you're going to get to this section. Once you see the wizard, or the witch, or whatever you want to call it, you are in the right place. And you're going to see on this door how it's red, but it tells me that I can unlock it. So go ahead and unlock it, and proceed into the room. And this is how you're going to begin your Outbreak Perfected quest once you have made it into that room. Now, once you are in the room, you're going to find this sort of tablet on the table. Pick that up, and that's going to kick off your exotic quest. As you can see, I picked it up, and once you open it, you're going to need 6 nodes. And from here on out, I'm going to show you where those 6 nodes are located. Not that difficult. This quest can be done in an hour, maybe a little bit more if you haven't ran Outbreak Perfected before, but it's a very simple, straightforward quest. Fallen transponder in hand. Now you need to collect 6 nodes as was previously stated. Your first 4 nodes are going to be in the EDZ. So from Titan, make your way to the EDZ. Now, for your first node, we are going to go to the Drain Lost sector in the outskirts. I'm going to show you exactly where it's at. Just follow my path on screen. For the Lost sectors, you do not need to complete the Lost sector in its entirety. If you, again, choose to, you can kill the enemies in there. Though, for the nodes, you don't need to clear out the entire lost sector, open the chest, nothing like that. All it is you're gonna go a certain route because you're looking for a certain item only. And as was stated, follow the path that I'm taking, and I will take you directly to that node. This is going to be node 1 of 6. And remember, there are 4 here in the EDZ. Very simple to get. It's not a very difficult quest. So all you're doing is, after you pick up your fallen transponder, you're going to head to the EDZ, and you're going to go to 4 lost sectors, which I will cover each one, and I will show you where each node is at, Now, this is your first node, and you can open your fallen transponder if you like, and you're going to see that one of the nodes has been filled in, but since it wasn't that important, I decided to take that out. Once that's done, we're going to our next lost sector. Second node is again going to be in the outskirts, this time in the Whispered Falls lost sector. The beauty of the nodes is that they're all close together, so that makes it that much easier. And once again, you're going to go into the lost sector, you do not need to clear out the lost sector. All you need to do is follow the path on screen. I will take you to your node in Whispered Falls Lost Sector. Collect your second node. If you'd like to, you can again check your Fallen Transponder to see that now you have two nodes active. If you don't much care for that and you want to keep moving forward, that's what we are going to do. So you make your way into Whispered Falls. The first part's a little bit tricky because it is dark, so you might be bumping into walls, but follow the path on screen. Once you see this where I'm at, you're going to see a little green cave to the right, and your node is in there. Pick it up, and that's your second node. Your second node in hand. From here, you're going to head to the Atrium Lost Sector in the Trossland. This is the lost sector that's located literally below Devram K. Now, as with the previous two lost sectors, you do not need to clear anything out. If you only want the node, you can only go in, get the node, get out, move on to your next node. And I'm going to show you where your third node is. For this one, I did need to clear out ads, I will say, because the node is located in a very ad heavy spot, though it's not absolutely recommended that you clear out any ads. It's only if you want to. If you only care about completing this, get in as quickly as possible, get out, and get moving to the next spot. So, as has been previously mentioned, you can open your Fallen Transponder, look at it, you're going to see that you now have 3 nodes filled in, leaving you with 3 left. Now, once you have gotten your third node, we're going to move on to our fourth and final node in the EDZ. Our fourth and final node is right across the way in Widow's Walk Lost Sector. You literally come out of the atrium and you just walk right across and you make your way into this lost sector, and this is going to give you your fourth and final node on the EDZ. A bit of a heads up, this node is located in a very ad heavy location, and more than likely you will need to clear out ads, more so here than in any of the previous 3 lost sectors. So you can absolutely, if you're a hunter, you turn invisible, you run in and get your node, get out. Though if you're not a hunter, if you're a titan, if you're a warlock, you will need to put up a fight here to get your node. Though, as has been mentioned before, you absolutely do not need to open any sort of chest. All you're doing is making your way to the node, which you follow me on screen, you follow my path. I will take you directly to your fourth and final node on the EDZ, and if you'd like, you can again open your Fallen Transponder to see that you now have 4 nodes active, leaving you with 2. With your 4 nodes complete on the EDZ, we are now going to head over to Nessus and land on Exodus Black. A bit of a heads up, and this wasn't touched on in the beginning, you can actually do the node location and the node collection, in any order you'd like to. If you want to do these 2 on Nessus first, you can absolutely do so. If you want to do the 4 on the EDZ last, you can absolutely do that as well. Now, the lost sector you're going into is going to be the Rift, which once you land on Exodus Black, it's literally right in front of you. Though if you are having trouble, you can follow the path on screen and I will take you into the Rift Lost Sector, and as with the previous 4 nodes, I'm going to show you the location of your node for your Fallen Transponder so that you can continue with your quest and move forward with Outbreak Perfected. For this, I did take out the ads, or whatever ads were in the way, because this one was another ad-heavy lost sector where you might need to, engage in a firefight, whereas previous lost sectors you can just run in and out. This one, not so much, though it's nothing too difficult. You can just go in solo. As you can see, I've been collecting the nodes by myself because it's not a very difficult thing to do. Now, for this one, your node is up on this crate where I'm going to show you. So just be mindful of your jumps because you might fall off if you miss. And if you do fall off, it's okay because you can just get back up and get it. Now, this is your 5th node. From here, we are one step closer to Outbreak Perfected. I've down 1 to go. Our final node is in the Carrion Pit in the Glade of Echoes. As was mentioned, there are 2 nodes here on Nessus. Now, this lost sector is a little bit trickier to find, and this one took me a little bit longer to find. The lost sector, not the node. And if you get lost, follow the path on screen. It is located like underneath all this rubble and stuff. You will have to look for it. And this lost sector is another ad-heavy lost sector where you will need to clear out basically everything in this lost sector to gain access to your node, because it's just going to be a pain trying to get the node with everything trying to light you up. And it can, if you have your super, that's all you need. It's not going to be, a difficult thing to do. And once you gather your 6th and final node, you're now going to be tasked with returning to the farm. Yes, that place that you forgot existed in Destiny. We are going to return to the farm because that's where we kick off the 0-hour mission that gets us Outbreak Perfected. Now, for this node, it's right here. It's a little tricky, but you'll find it. The truth, and by far one of the best exotic experiences in Destiny, hands down. Once you've gotten your 6 nodes, you're set. Return to the farm, make your way down this basement. You don't know what I'm talking about? I will show you right here. There's going to be 2 doors open that lead down to a basement, and down here you are going to start your 0-hour quest. We want to give a very special shout out to Luciusisagod and Volcanion522 for helping me run this. I had already run this. As you can see, I already have Outbreak Perfected on my back, though I goofed. I forgot to capture it, and so we went back in. This time we took Luciusisagod. Myself and Volcanion522 took Luciusisagod into Outbreak Perfected so that he can get his Outbreak Perfected. So we ran 0-hour again, and at the end you're going to see Luciusisagod get his Outbreak Perfected. Now, for this, I originally wasn't going to include the full run, but I decided to for the fact that it might very well help you out. Now, this footage from our run, this is recent. This is what I was talking about, running it a few times in the last few weeks, and that it's the exact same thing. So for this, I ran Point of the Stag. This is the Arc Special bow that came out in this last Iron Banner, and I was running my Void subclass, and I was running a solar heavy weapon or power weapon. Now, for your setup, you need to run something along those lines, but mix it up. And what I mean is, don't all run a Void subclass, don't all run an Arc special weapon. don't all run a solar power weapon. Mix your setup up, so because this way it's going to help you guys a great deal, excuse me, when you run your 0 hour mission. Keep this in mind. You are timed. This is 20 minutes. And if you enjoyed Whisper of the Worm, this is Whisper of the Worm, but on steroids. And it is an absolute blast. For this, there isn't really any dialogue that goes on, any like spoilerish dialogue that goes along. You will, though, you might need to run this once or twice in order to get everything down. And once you do, it's really easy. Even the jumping stuff in the beginning, it is a pain. Once you get it down, though, it's an absolute easy thing to do. Also, keep this in mind that you absolutely have to communicate while you are running this, because you have to. You can't get through this without communicating, and because you need to, if someone gets too far ahead or gets left behind, you need to know where they are at. You need to keep an eye on your time. And so if you're running with someone that knows what they're doing, it's fine. They can go ahead and they can, flip switches and things like that, and it'll help you a great deal. Also, when you run the 0 hour mission, you absolutely need to take everything out in order for every section to open up. So you'll get to a section and it'll close off. You have to clear everything out. The next sections will open. You have to take everything out in the following section, and that's how you have to run this zero mission, this quest. For Whisper of the Worm, you didn't need to take out the taken blights, and in the final boss room, you didn't need to kill every single enemy. And in this one, you do. You have to take out every single enemy. And I will say, it's much easier now because there's a lot of weapons available to you. When this first came out last year, originally it took me around 6 hours. I think we got it the day it came out, but because we didn't know where anything was at, we didn't know how to run this encounter, we didn't know, we didn't have, our weapons weren't as good or anything like that. It took us about 6 hours to fully complete this run. But now you can do this on your first run, you can do it on your second run, maybe your third run. It's not a very difficult thing. It's very basic. Clear out all the ads and keep moving forward. And then I will show you, as we're running this, shortcuts that are going to make this much easier and save you a lot of time, because you do want to have at least a minimum of 7 minutes when you make it into the final room, because the final room is an absolute firefight. You can't get around it, you can't skip it, you have to kill every single thing in the final encounter for you to get your weapon. If you don't kill every single thing, you won't get your weapon. Keep that in mind. Now this is where the jumping puzzles begin. So right here, don't get lost. Your way is underneath the ship, remember that, and follow my path, because I'm going to take you through a shortcut which is going to save you a lot of time. And it's, having run this a number of times, this is how we were able to figure this out. But you can go the way I'm going right here. This is your shortcut. Now, when you're jumping down, the metal grate that you land on, it does break. So don't stand on that too long, because it will break and it will send you down. Though it will respawn after, I don't know, maybe 30 seconds. So if you guys are right behind each other, keep that in mind. Now this first puzzle, this jumping section right here, is, I don't want to say the more tricky part, But again, you can shortcut it by leaning into the wall. Now, for you want to land on this platform right here that I'm gonna miss. This footage I actually didn't. It's our run. Whatever happened on our run, you're going to see it. You're going to see me die a few times because this jumping section with my warlock, I can do it much easier. My titan for some reason becomes a sack of potatoes and has no coordination, and I just end up falling down. Which again, I mentioned running it once or twice, you'll get a better idea of how to do all this. Now, whoever makes it to the bottom, you're gonna flip a switch. You flip that switch, it's gonna help whoever's still at the top. As you're gonna see, it extends like something that you can land on. You're gonna see me here a number of times trying to make it to that platform, but with my Titan, for some reason, it just becomes, a sack of potatoes, a sack of lifeless potatoes, an uncoordinated, lifeless sack of potatoes, and just falls down. As you can see here, the switch has already been flipped, and whoever's gonna do the jump, flip that switch, it's gonna help everyone. Now, this is where you're gonna land and keep going. Once you land on the platform, you're gonna make your way up. I know that doesn't make sense, so you're jumping down to go up. I know it'll throw you off your first time or two, but once you get used to it, you get a better understanding of all this. For the fan section, the easiest way to remember this is lean in to the pink side. Lean in, turn your back, and land on top of each propeller. You can land on each spot. That's the easiest way to remember it. You're going to jump into the pink section on the wall, turn so your back is on the inside and your face is facing the fan. This way you can see where you're landing or where you're going to land. And I will admit, during the first time I ever ran this, the fan section, it was the end of me. There was one run, I don't think I ever made it out of the fan section. Once you make it out of the fan section, you have this other section that you're seeing right now. Whoever goes in front can again flip a switch, and this will make this section a lot easier because now you have platforms to jump on, and that's going to come in very handy. So if you want to run this with someone, in a sense you sort of want someone to go ahead of you to do things like this. Because if you haven't ran it, it'll make it a lot easier for you. And if you are running it in a group, in a fire team of people that don't know what they're doing, it's fine because you'll learn it. It's not a very difficult thing to do. Now, continue to follow the path that you see on screen, and this is going to take you to the maze room. The maze room, there are 4 switches once you drop in. So as you can see, I'm going to the right. There are going to be 2 switches to the right, 2 switches to the left. Now, in the maze, you need to be very careful for Trevor. Trevor's only goal is to make sure that he takes your soul each and every time, and he will. And as you can see, he ran right by me. The goal, or the key, is look down, and there are going to be little openings. You can crawl into that opening and you'll be safe from Trevor. Now, as you can see here, I got my first switch on the right, and I'm making my way to the second switch on the right, because you need to hit these 4 switches in order to open a door so that you can continue. Now, Volcanion522 went to the left side, so he opened the 2 switches on the left. Now right here is the second switch on the right. Flip this and continue to make your way to the final room, to the final door, to get out of this maze. And if you're having trouble, just follow my path on screen, and if Trevor's chasing you, remember, look down. There are going to be openings that you can crawl into, and it's going to help you and save you from Trevor. Now, once you've made it out of the maze, you're gonna hit this elevator. You're gonna go up. So this 0 hour mission throws you off because a lot of it is you go down, you go up, you go down, you go up, and it does that on purpose to sort of throw you off and get you dizzy, because now you're asking yourself, where am I at? You know, am I up? Am I down? What's going on? So the lift's gonna ride up, and you're gonna see this catwalk, this railing above me, jump up to it. You're gonna see this opening, jump down, and if you die here, like I'm gonna die here, you know, it's gonna happen. That drop will always more than likely get you. But once you have made it down, your next step is gonna be to find another little entrance. And once you have done that, once you've made it to this part, your last encounter is the actual boss. Now, go into where I went into. Once you've made it down through the elevator, it's going to drop you down. So again, you're going down, you're going up, you're going down, and look for this symbol right here on the bottom right hand side. That opens a secret passage, and this is going to take us into the final boss room after we've done a little bit more running. Drop into the final boss room and eliminate everything in the boss room. Eliminate the walkers, eliminate the servitors, eliminate the shanks, eliminate red bars, anything and everything in this final room, eliminate it. Because if you don't, you won't complete your, you won't get your exotic, if that makes sense. So in this final room, you have to eliminate every single thing, and when you do, you'll complete it and you'll get your outbreak perfected. Now be mindful, keep an eye on your time, because if people are lagging behind, this is gonna mess you up, because you can't one-man this, because this scales to your level. So this, it's, even though it's an older quest, it's not going to be at 750. If everyone in your fire team is 980, is 970, 80, or 90, this is going to scale to you. If you're 960, it's going to scale to you. Now this final room, this final encounter, these ads are ruthless. And this is why I had Point of the Stag, because that bow is an absolute beast. And as you're going to see, we just eliminated everything, and you're going to see that Luciusisagod got his outbreak perfected, because I had already had mine. Volcanion already had his. And this is how to get outbreak perfected in its entirety. Thank you guys so very much for watching. Stay safe. I'm Nate. I'll catch you guys with some Call of Duty, some Gears of War, some more guides on the next one.